record because that's always, a thing. All right. So welcome to the Team Nourished team call. It is April the 23rd, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We meet every week here at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So hop on every week and you will get to know our team even better. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my fun little slideshow. Let's see who's at the top of my list here. Maybe. All right. Paige, can you see the slideshow?
Yes, I can.
Okay, here, I want to play it. There we go. Yay. Now does it fill your lovely screen? And of course, now there's a participant trying to hop on, right? There we go. Okay. All right. So welcome, you guys. We will go ahead and get started with this week's recognition. So, oh, hold on. Somebody's unmuted. Let me mute Carrie here. Okay, so we are going to get started with this week's recognition. So our weekly top 5, like I've mentioned every week, I will always let you guys know that the top 5 is populated on a couple of different metrics. Success Club points, volume, which is orders, that's not commissions, but that's orders that you're accumulating underneath of you. And then also recruitment, coach recruitment. So my assistant has it where you get like a point for each thing and all this stuff. So anyways, not surprising that Carrie Summers is at the top, because if you look at the Success Club board, she is at SC16 this month, which means she has helped at minimum 8 people get started with a challenge pack, but also I imagine she's helped more than that because her volume this week is off the charts. Megan Pickup is coming in at number 2, Amanda Harrell, Brandy Haney, which I love seeing up there, and then Lauren Mitchell. Yay, guys, I'm so glad to see everybody on the weekly top 5. And then Success Club earners, this is you get 2 points for every 1 bundle pack you enroll someone with. So like I mentioned, Carrie is at the top of the leaderboard with SC16. That means she has helped 8 people get started. Renee is at 12. I am at 12. Paige Yorgi is at 8. Megan Pickup is at 8. Amanda Harold is at 4. Kendall Fawns is at 4. And then Leanna Morris is at 2. So congratulations, you guys. What I really love more than anything, it's not about these points. The points are a nice way to see it all. But truly what these points are people. These are people that we're helping get started changing their life. And so maybe you think, oh, well, it's no big deal. It is actually a big deal. A lot of these people, this may be the one thing that changes the whole trajectory of their life. You just don't know. It did that for me. I know it's done that for several of you guys. So don't discount the fact that, one person is one person. So get out there and help one more person. Everybody can make that a non-negotiable goal for this week. Help one more person at minimum. Okay, like I said, I know we have a lot of kind of housekeeping-y kind of things, and then I have kind of a big topic I want to talk about tonight with getting results. But I did want to, if you were not able to get on the Super Saturday this last week, which by the way, that feels like it was like a month ago. I don't know if it feels like that for anybody else, but I'm like, oh, I've known about these things this whole time. I'm like, actually, it's only been like 5 days. So kind of crazy about that. But we have a lot of new things coming out that I am really, really, really pumped about. So be sure in the comments to tell everybody what you are most excited about. I don't know how to pick because I am excited about them all. So Mixed Berry Energize is coming out May 18th. Yay! I'm so excited to have a new flavor of Energize to mix up in my mornings. Bevy, which I had no idea this was coming out. This was one of the ones that so here's the deal. Sometimes when we go to Summit and sometimes when we go to leadership events and sometimes in the upper level trainings, we get little hints, these little bits and pieces where they'll kind of drop hints. I had no idea Bevy was coming out. Did not even know this was in the product development line. So I'm really, really excited to try it. It is intentionally made to curb cravings, specifically in the afternoon and evenings is what they're marketing it toward when people have a tendency to start rummaging through the pantry. This is something you're just going to mix up real quick, drink, those cravings are satiated, and you can kind of go on with your weight loss goals. I'm really excited about that because you guys know at 9:13 every night, not 9:15, not 9:05, but 9:13 every night, I find myself wanting to stand up off the couch and walk to the pantry. And I have no idea why. I could have just eaten the biggest meal of all meals. It doesn't matter. And every single time, I know you think it's crazy that I can pinpoint 9:13. Every single time I can look at my watch and I'm like, dang it, it's 9:13. I don't know what it is. My body is on some kind of weird clock. It has nothing to do with actual hunger. I can promise you that. So I'm really excited to have the option of Bevy. And I love that they have a lemon and pomegranate flavor. That's going to be super exciting. Salted caramel, that is, I'm really pumped about that too, because that is one of the ones that I had heard like little bits and pieces a lot of times. In our emails, you guys, we will get, all right, Renee, I'll get your hand in just a second. A lot of times we will get surveys that ask us like our opinion on different products. This is one of the ones I got a survey for. So I kind of thought we'd be getting salted caramel something. This is going to be a limited time flavor available June 23rd. The first time they ever came out with a limited time flavor was pumpkin spice 2 years ago. And it sold out in, I think, 5 hours. Like it was incredibly fast. I mean, just bam, it was gone. So guys, I would highly, highly, highly encourage you, if you want to get a box of this, get on it immediately because it will sell out. They sell out every single time. I mean, it's just every single time they sell out. Sometimes they end up making more and sometimes they don't. So if it's gone, it's gone. It does come in a 14-pack box, not like, it will not come in a bag, and it will not be an option for your home direct. You cannot set someone up with a challenge pack with this. It is an addition to. It is not in replace of. And I mean, obviously we'll have more stuff as the launch comes out. Renee, you had a question real quick?
No, I did not.
Oh,
I was trying to learn how to chat.
Okay, I was like, oh, Renee is raising her hand. Okay, and then I don't know which is my favorite, but the next announcement might be my favorite, which is weird because I am not the biggest fan of working out. Like, I feel like you guys know me. If you know my story, I don't love to work out. So the fact that I even care to work out with the program and that's what I'm most looking forward to is kind of a huge freaking deal. So Megan Davies has a new program coming out, #MBF. It stands for Muscle Burns Fat. And there are going to be 2 3-week programs done back to back, strength training and cardio. So think 21-day fix, no autumn, live view. And like, obviously there are those bod ropes, which I have to be like the most, when I saw her doing the jump rope, Paige was sitting here in my office with me watching. I was like, oh my God, a jump rope. That's so fun. Jump roping is so hard. But then immediately my mind went to the fact that I work out in a sunroom lanai that has a lowered ceiling. And I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna have to do this entire program outside in the summer of Hawaii. No, and because they just have these little weighted balls, and so they act like a jump rope, but they aren't going to hit. I think it was Megan that said, you're not going to hit your dog or your husband with your ropes, and I thought, that's really good. And also, I'm still going to have to keep them away from my kids because I also feel like they might end up being a little nunchucky. So that's a little concerning to me about that. And then last but not least, we're going to talk a little bit more tonight about bod groups, and kind of our theme for tonight's call is going to kind of direct you back to bod groups in the end too. So save your questions toward the end because I hope that what I have to say tonight will help answer those, and then we can kind of go toward more specific questions. But bod groups launches this Sunday. Like, it's crazy because I've been hearing about bod groups forever and ever and ever. And it's like one of those things where you're like, oh, this is never going to happen. And all of a sudden it's here and it's happening. And you're like, oh, bod groups. Okay. I don't know what's happening. And that's how I felt this entire week, trying to catch up on getting my head wrapped around how this is all going to launch out. But have some specific information about this. Cute girl with her cute rug. I still can't get over that. I just love that rug. But bod groups start April 26th. The My Challenge Tracker app will go away the night of the 25th. So kind of the big axe that's gonna happen is at 7 p.m. Pacific time, Saturday night. So after that time, so if you go at 8 p.m. Pacific time and go to log your accountability in your My Challenge Tracker group, it will not exist. It will redirect you, and it will redirect you. So don't get like your panties in a wad. Like, it's going to send you to where you need to go, and it will send all of your people where they need to go. So if you have not kind of pushed down this information through your groups, this information will also get kind of spoon-fed to them because they're going to go to log into their My Challenge Tracker, and it's going to say, this app does not exist. Please click here. And it will redirect them to the correct place they need to be logging their accountability, their workouts, all the things. So at 7 p.m. Pacific, You also need to know you cannot send a share a cart or access your coach online office until Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time. That's the time they're shooting for, guys. And this is a tech launch, so please be advised that that's their best guess. It might be a little before that. It might be a little bit after that. So if it's 8:05 and you can't get in, don't get all upset. Like, give them a minute. This is a lot. It's a lot to reintegrate an entire software package into an app and all of the things. So don't message me because I'm not tech support. I don't know how to fix your bod group issues. They should have sent you an email. All coaches should have gotten an email either today or yesterday that kind of ran down some information on the bod groups. And so, hold on, we have another person hopping on now. Okay. So you should have an email in your inbox for bod groups, and that will also run down some information. I'm not gonna read that to you guys. I assume all of you know how to read, so access your email, take a look at that. If you can't find it on there, go into the FAQs, type in bod groups. It's going to give you all the information on that. If you already have a group currently in the My Challenge Tracker app, like right now I have one for people that do not purchase the challenge pack, they just purchase, say, Beachbody On Demand. I'm still their coach. I'm still going to support them. I have a group in the Challenge Tracker app for them specifically. That group will automatically be integrated into bod groups. I don't have to touch or do a single thing. So if you want to make this easy for yourself, you can go ahead and set up a group in the My Challenge Tracker app. If you do not already know that system, like if you have not already been in there and played around, don't start. Like, don't learn a new system that's going to go away on Saturday night. Do yourself a favor. Wait till Sunday, set aside an hour or two on Sunday because it's going to take you a bit, right? Like maybe Sunday afternoon, Sunday night after the kids go to bed, when you're, sitting there playing on Netflix. Also, hop on your laptop and set up your bod group. Every single coach on this team needs to have a bod group with at least one person in it. There's no reason why you shouldn't have that. It's another layer of accountability for you. It's another way to get integrated into what we're already doing. So the other thing they wanted the lead coaches, to make sure that you guys all knew was that you need to update your coach website after the 26th. So after the 26th, don't go update it now. Wait till the 26th, because there's going to be places for you to put, when is your next bod group starting? This is the link to my bod group. This is what my boot camp is going to be called. Don't do that now because that stuff's not there. Do that after Sunday. So go on and I can walk you guys through exactly how to reset up that site. You log into teambeachbody.com, go to your coach office, go to Grow My Business, website, edit. And there's going to be, I think it says like English US, English UK, English Canada, and then I think they might even have the one up for France right now. But go ahead and click English US, because we're all on this call English US, and you hit update or edit or whatever, and then it will just walk you through it. So you're not going to mess it up. Just go ahead and get that taken care of. All right, last little thing, I always try to run down the business structure of this business, because at the end of the day, we're all here to help other people get stronger, live healthier, happier lives, and also provide an income for our families at some level, whether that's, we had our Thursday, like Thankful Thursday post. Y'all, if y'all haven't gone in there, go in there and do that. I don't care if your paycheck was $1. I don't care if it was $14 or $400. It doesn't matter. That money is more than you had last week. So go in there and shout yourself out and recognize yourself, because I don't get to see your paycheck. I don't know how much you're making week to week. I only know how much I'm making. So get in there and be thankful for what we have, because what you're grateful for will grow. That is one of my favorite quotes. What you're grateful for will grow. So the more you pour in gratitude, the more that is going to grow. So the more you start recognizing all the good, the more that's just going to blossom and grow. If all you do is focus on comparison mindset and how I don't have this and how I'm not this rank and how I didn't make this much money, guess what's never going to grow? Whatever it is you're ungrateful for. The more you can pour gratitude in, the more there's going to be grateful for. So just to run down very quickly the coach rank structure, so that when you hear people talk about it, you're not completely blindsided. Emerald is where we begin. Emerald is where we build our business. Coach Active, that's really great. You are obviously doing something for yourself. Active Emerald is where you begin to make income. If you have any desire to make any level of income, whether that's 50 bucks a week or $500 a week, you have to start with Emerald. That's enrolling 2 people as coaches on your team. You get your husband and your cousin, your best friend and your mom, your neighbor Sally, and the girl that used to cut your hair. It doesn't matter who it is, but you need to open up those 2 new coach centers so that you can start your Beachbody bank account. And, you know, I had a call with Renee earlier this week, and I showed her my rollover volume. So when I say bank account, basically these points accumulate because you guys are on a team that's growing. If you were on a team that was completely dead, like say you did not have an active upline whatsoever, nobody in your upline was growing, you would be on a dead team. You would be solely responsible for that growth. Guess what, you guys? Our team is one of the fastest growing teams in Beachbody as a whole right now. So you are on a massively growing team. So the fact that you aren't Emerald means you aren't getting any piece of that. At Emerald, your bank account begins. And like I said, I showed Renee my carryover volume. I have over 250,000 carryover volume points. That means every single time I cycle bonus, and we can go through this in a lot more depth in a different call, or you can just FAQ it and figure it out yourself or YouTube it. Every time I cycle, every time that other account hits 100 volume points, I make $18. If you're Emerald, you're making $14. Every single time. If I was an Emerald, if I wasn't beyond that, I would be making nothing on our teams. And I say our team, I don't just mean my team or your team. I mean Jackie's team. I mean Meredith's team. I mean massively growing teams right now. So that has to be your number one non-negotiable. Next up is Ruby. I know it is a thing, but like it's also not a thing. If you can get to Ruby, you're behind can get to Diamond. So go ahead, just skip this one. You just all need to be going for Diamond right now, because if you can get here, you can get here. It's just 4 more coaches. So active Diamond means that you have 2 Emeralds on each side and 4 coaches on each side for a total of 8 coaches. If you say hypothetically you put your husband over here and your mom over here, you could also add coaches to them. It does not have to be a specifically like, oh, my neighbor Sally also wants to start a Beachbody business. It can also be you building your Diamond at first. Obviously, you're going to want to continue to expand that, but it doesn't have to start there. It can start with, you know, just you building your business. Why advance to Emerald and why SC10 instead of SC5? I am going to kind of get up on a high horse about this. I was on a call yesterday with some other coaches, and I loved what she had to say. Guys, normally at SC10 and Emerald, which means you've helped 5 people that month get started with a challenge pack, and your Emerald, which means 2 of those 5 were coach enrollments, or maybe you had 2 coach enrollments originally and now whatever, you get it, right? Usually we get about 2 to 3 paid leads a week. I'm saying, like, let's go back to January, February. We were getting about 2 to 3 paid leads a week. What's a paid lead? A paid lead is when somebody goes on beachbody.com or Beachbody, you know, whatever on the app, buys a 1-year subscription, buys Shakeology, buys Power Greens, buys collagen. You get the commission for that, even though you don't know that person. Even though you never sold them anything, Beachbody just gave that to you, because at Emerald and SC10, they assume you are working your business actively. If you're at SC5, you get free leads. That means, you know, Sally at 10 o'clock at night saw a Beachbody ad for a free Beachbody membership. She swiped up. She put in her information. She didn't buy anything. She's a free customer lead. But say 2 weeks from now, Sally's like, ooh, what's this advertisement for collagen? I want that. Now you're getting paid for it. So free leads are a big deal. But back to what I was saying before. Back in January and February, we were getting about 2 to 3 paid leads a week. Typically, in a month, I probably made anywhere from $150 to $250 in a month off of paid leads. Guys, last month, so far this month, April's not even over. I think the average for paid leads right now is 45 in a month. Guys, that's astronomical. I saw a new thing from Carl today. So we were all hyped up about how it was like 790,000 people accessed Beachbody On Demand on that Tuesday a couple weeks ago. Guess what happened yesterday? Like 850 or some odd thousand people accessed Beachbody On Demand. Guys, we have a service right now that people want. It has never been like this in all 5 years of my coaching. So if you aren't taking advantage of this opportunity, you're only shooting yourself in the foot. Like, you're only giving someone else that money and it's taking it away from your family. So why would you not lean in freaking hard right now? Like, I don't understand it. Like we had talked about, why advance to diamond, being a leader, building a team, increasing your team cycle bonus to 18 over $14. Had another conversation with a coach earlier this week who is an emerald, who, you know, she's getting cycle bonus. And again, 14 and 18 don't seem that different when your team cycle bonusing like 5 times in a month. So 5 times 14 is what? 5 times 18, you're like, oh yeah, there's a difference, but it's not big. Guys, when your team cycle bonusing 20, 30, 40 times in a month, 14 and $18 is hundreds of dollars difference. It's not piddly $4 anymore. It's hundreds of dollars of difference. So don't sit on an opportunity that's just sitting right in front of you. You also get to join our leadership groups, be on our exclusive leadership calls, being given opportunities to travel with the team. Myself and Jackie are working on summit plans right now for a Summit Diamond Day. We're trying to figure out all of that. So there'll be some kind of really cool incentive. I think it'll end up including like a spa and a dinner out. We're going to try to do like a Zoom thing where we're all together. It's going to be a very, very fun thing. We're also looking at 2021 doing our diamond trip. That means all the diamonds on the team would be invited and paid for to go to the diamond retreat. We would have speakers come talk to us. We'd have live workouts. We would be doing that as a team. That's a huge deal, you guys. So get your butt to diamond there now, like now, yesterday now. Okay. I did want to throw this up there. We're not going to go through it hardly at all, but I saw this in another team page and I thought it would be good to add to this because I know a lot of you have really big goals. So obviously those big goals start here. They start at emerald. They start at diamond. But beyond that, 1 star, 2 star, 2 star gets a quarterly bonus, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star gets a quarterly bonus. This is what that looks like. So if this is something that you want to stick up on your goal board, take a screenshot of it or ask me and I'll send you a copy of this so that you can print it off so that you have a visual of what you're working toward. So all this means when you're a star diamond, it means you have another diamond on your team. Our team is 2 star diamond. That means Amanda is a diamond and myself as my husband is a diamond. So as we grow, that will continue to expand and expand. It's a really exciting thing. Okay. I think that's it. Okay. Stop share. And let me check the chat really quick and make sure bod ropes look like nunchucks. Yes. Salted caramel, Bevy. Yes. Oh my gosh, y'all, Bevy is so exciting. I'm really pumped about it. And bod groups and MBF for sure. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the chat on my end just so I don't get distracted, as Eden says. I don't want to get distracted. It's just so freaking cute. Okay, which is a nice thing for me to say since she's home with me all the time now. Okay. So let's take a big deep breath because we're going to dive into getting results physically and getting results in your business. Guys, we are in a fitness and health business. So guess what that means? Those two things are intertwined. If you are not getting physical results, the idea of you getting business results is a little silly. If you aren't, like, those two things go so hand in hand. I mean, you don't want to go to a dentist that's got like his mouth all jacked up, right? Like, so why would we want to enroll with a boot camp? And it doesn't mean you have to be perfect. Like, let me be very, very clear about this. This isn't about perfection. This isn't about some like ripped, toned, hot model body. And that's the only kind of person that people want to sign up with. Not at all. That's actually really unobtainable. And the reason people like enrolling with you and me and us is because we're humans, because we talk about what we struggle with, because we're not perfect. When you show up as the authority of perfection, nobody relates to you. That was one of the things that I found as soon as I like got my degree and put that out there. People were like, oh, well, now we can't relate to you because, you know, you have a nutrition degree. And I'm like, that doesn't mean that I don't still want to hide in my closet and eat Reese's cups. Like, I still have human struggles just like you. And so it's important that through what we talk about tonight, we talk about a results mindset, because that's really what I'm talking about. Obviously that mindset and your actions are going to show up on your physical body. But I think we've all been in here long enough, maybe except for Renee and Megan and Paige, but the rest of us, and I mean, the team watching this recording, if you've been with Beachbody for any length of time, you've done a program and not seen results. I know I have. I've done lots of programs and not seen results. And I've done, I mean, and I would have told you at the time, yeah, I'm in it. I'm in it. I'm totally doing this program. But I wasn't sharing, and I'm going to outline some things. So if you have like pen and paper, you might want to take a couple notes tonight. I'm going to outline some things that need to be a part of what you're doing so that you get results. Because again, I think saying you're results minded because you're doing a program and actually being results minded and actually getting results are two different things. So first off, you have to want results. So we need to strip all this back down to the mind, right? Like, because the mindset is the root of all of the issues. So you have to actually want results. And again, I think a lot of us say we want results, but wanting results mean you have not necessarily an end goal in mind, but you have a goal in mind. It's not, you know, and I hate to call Matt out here, but I mean, he's not on the team call and he's not listening in my office, so I'm going to call him out here. He started doing the work, and I asked him, what's your goal? To do it? To do all the workouts? Like, dude, that's not a goal. Like, you work out every day anyway. Having a goal to do all the workouts in a program is not a goal. Like, maybe when it's Morning Meltdown 100 and like the goal is I've got to get myself consistent and this program will achieve that for me. That's a goal. You doing a program for the sake of doing a program is not getting results. Oh, yeah, Carrie, you and Matt are the same. I get it. Like, and that's such an easy mindset to slip into, especially if you've done this a couple of times and seen results in programs. I think that's a really important thing to kind of put your finger on. Maybe you've done a program and you got really great results. I mean, I can say that, right? Like Morning Meltdown, I had phenomenal results from Morning Meltdown. And guess what happened at the end of November, December, January, February, and the beginning of March? I did programs to say that I was doing programs, to show up, because part of my job is to work out and to share that with other people. But I was not results minded, because results minded Danielle and the Danielle that just shows up to show up are two different people. And you can see it in my face, you can hear it in my voice, and I show up differently for my life. And so when you get to the point where you're seeking results from something, you act differently, you track differently, you show up differently in your life. And again, it's funny, because what I found through all of my years of coaching is that when I show up a certain way in my business, I tend to show up that way in all of the areas in my life. Like, all of that bleeds out into my life. I show up with intention with my kids. I show up with intention with my husband. I make different choices in who I spend time with and what I do with my time. So I want us to all get very, very clear on becoming results minded. And what does that mean? So again, that means you have a program. You're not hodgepodging crap together. You're not, well, today I kind of feel like doing some bar, and maybe tomorrow I'll lift some weights and I might do some cardio on Thursday. No, you have a calendar. And I'm not saying you can't do a hybrid program, but willy-nilly picking crap on how you feel is not going to get you results. I mean, maybe if it's your very first time ever picking up a weight, perhaps you'll get some measurable result, but it's not enough. Like, it's not a results minded kind of result, right? So pick a program. Beachbody employs incredibly, incredibly smart trainers. These aren't some chicks off of YouTube or Pinterest putting together some crap. These people have track records and degrees and extensive extensive histories in training professional athletes and celebrities. And I know Autumn Calabrese used to work with Women's Health Magazine. Like, these are people that know what they're doing. So if you don't have some kind of degree in this, perhaps defaulting to the person that does might be a really smart idea. Taking yourself down off that I know everything pedestal for me was huge, 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 huge. As soon as I humbled myself to the process and actually leaned into the process, guess who got results? Me. So pick a program, print the calendar, put it somewhere where you're going to see it. Check it off day to day. Do a program like it was written. Okay? Not saying you're going to love every day, because I can promise you there's a whole lot of days that I don't love what I'm doing. But I'm going to do it because I have a result in mind. It's that why mentality. And we all hear that, right? Like Simon Sinek, start with why. Yes, start with why, but don't just start there. Carry that sucker, like cling to it hardcore and carry it throughout your life, because that why is what's going to keep getting you up and keep making you not go to the pantry at 9:13 at night. It's going to keep you showing up for your workouts because you have a result in mind. I can't determine your result. I can't say, oh, well, you really look like you need to lose 10 pounds. Like, I don't know what you need to do. So you need to decide what you need to do, and don't sell yourself short. For me, a big part of my thing was I was always really scared to make big goals, specifically around weight loss and stuff like that, because for so long, making too big of a goal was like self-sabotaging for me. It's fine to make a big goal, guys. Break it down into smaller increments. So like for me, one of the things that I really focus on with Morning Meltdown, because that's just what I'm doing right now, but any of this translates to any program, is, and that's why printing the calendar makes so much sense to me, because it's a visual of like, so right now I'm doing Morning Meltdown and I have that block 1, right? That's the first 20 days of the program. I want to see this many inches lost or this many pounds dropped. And I've made my big goal small, because if I can keep my eye on forward momentum each week, I'm able to readjust when I've gone off track, versus I'm going to lose 50 pounds. And week 3, I haven't lost 50 pounds, obviously, and I get defeated, and I'm like, screw this crap. I don't want to do this anymore. Back to the Oreos. Like, make those goals small and obtainable week to week, but don't be afraid to shoot for a big goal. So if you have, you know, some of us have a lot of weight to lose. Some of us don't. It's okay. It doesn't have to be about weight loss. It can be, I want to see myself move up lifting 10 extra pounds. I want to see myself, I don't know, fit into this bathing suit. I want to, whatever, like, aesthetic you're going for. It doesn't even have to be an aesthetic. It can be, you know, like I said, but it's got to be measurable. It can be weights being able to be increased. Whatever it is, it's got to be measurable. You got to be able to measure it. Just an idea of like, oh, I want to finish some workouts is not, that's not results, guys. You know, you can at the end say like, yay, 6 weeks later, I did every single workout, but like, what do you have to show for it? People aren't going to watch your journey just because you showed up every day. Like, that's not what they're looking for. That's not what they're looking for in their own life. So then why would they look for that in you as well? I mean, you have to show up every day because that's part of this, but that can't be the only thing you're doing. So being results minded, doing the workout program full out. Guess what else comes along with that? Doing a meal plan full out. Now, I'm not calling for perfection, and we all know that, right? Like, but you have to have something, some meal plan, some nutrition thing that you can point people to. Because you guys, wellness, health as a whole, a healthy person is not just somebody who works out every day. I will fight you tooth and nail on this. You can work out every single day. That does not make you healthy. You have to have the trifecta of fitness, nutrition, and positive mindset. That is what makes you a wholly healthy person. You cannot just eat kale and never pick up a weight or run a mile or whatever. Like, and the same goes for the other direction. You can't just be super positive and very, very happy and never work out and never eat a salad. Like, it doesn't work that way. You're not a wholly healthy person. You might be really happy, but you can also be really happy in a hospital bed because you have type 2 diabetes that's uncontrolled too. So be mindful of where you're falling in those categories. If you're putting way too much emphasis in one, maybe start spreading it out. And if you've never done a nutrition program that we offer, like that's going to be your goal number one. Print it off, watch the videos, do the meal plan. Like you can do this. It's not as hard as you're making it out to be if that's something that you're not doing. I know I was talking to several coaches this week. For whatever reason, everybody's all in wanting to do 80-day obsession lately. Like, I don't know what is wrong with you guys. I have zero desire to do that program ever again. But that program comes with a very specific nutrition plan. So if you're going to do 80-day obsession, go into it with the mindset of, I'm going to freaking do this. Not, I might do some 80 workouts in a row. I might eat an extra salad here and there. Like, that's not results minded. And your business is not going to reflect that. Again, maybe here and there, somebody might be like, oh yeah, you do Beachbody workouts, right? Like, can I sign up through you? And you can be like, yeah, here's my link. But they're not coming to you as somebody who's getting results, right? Like, you want to be the person that they're coming to because you're getting results. So do the program, do the nutrition plan, like do the whole thing. Like, and I get that that's scary. I get that that's not an easy thing to do because you're like, oh my God, now I'm doing all of this stuff all at once. Guys, that's what our team is for. That's what our boot camps and our accountability is for, is to teach you how to do those programs. Beachbody lays it all out for you. I have started making 4-week meal plans for my boot camp. I was talking to a new challenger and coach yesterday. She and I weigh very similar amounts. We're similarly active. And I said, you know what? I build my meal plans for me and my family's size, and her family is the same size as mine. So if you wanted to, you could just print that off and you can just follow it straight up. She was like, oh my God, I don't have to do anything else. I can just print that off and eat off of it. And I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Like, you can totally do that. You don't have to sit there and manipulate and play all these different roles. Like, Beachbody has meal plans you can just straight up print off, go to the grocery store, purchase the food, and eat it. A lot of us are making it way harder than we need to be doing. Okay, so the next part of that is, hold on, taking photos, right? So now we're kind of moving into like, okay, I've decided I'm going to get results. Boot camp starts May 4th or whatever it is, 6th, 4th, whatever day the boot camp starts. I'm going to get these results. I've printed my meal plan. I've bought my groceries. I've done the things. What do I need to do next? Take a freaking before photo. I don't care how many before photos you've taken in the past. Take a before photo. I don't care if this is your first time ever doing this and you have to cry for 20 minutes afterwards. I really don't care. Take the photo. Put it away. Send it to me in email. It doesn't matter. What I tell my clients is every single person who takes a before photo doesn't want to, especially their first before photo, they don't want to take that photo. They don't like to take that photo because something called them forward into being into wanting your help. So obviously there's something they're wanting to adjust, right? So they're not going to like something that they see. I very regularly get, I can't believe I let myself get this far gone and da 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 da. I mean, I hate to sound insensitive about it, but at the same time, when you've heard it as much as I have in the last 5 years, I want to be like, all right, sister, get some tears flowing. Say what you gotta say, and then let's move on. Like, I know that that sounds insensitive, but I think every single person thinks that they're the only ones that don't like before photos. Like, no, nobody likes them. Just take them, snap them, get them over with. And always remind your clients, if you do this program full out with me, this will be the last time that photo ever looks like that. You will never see that version of yourself again, unless you want to. So if that, like, you came into this with a results minded, or they're coming to you because you're results minded, so they're going to be results minded, and now they're going to know that they aren't ever going to see a before photo that looks the way they didn't want to look before. So remind them of that, give them that assurance, and if not, give them their money back, right? Like, if they end this in worse shape than they started, get them their money back, send them to Beachbody, let them process a return, because you don't want people that don't get results at some level. So make sure you do that. And then not just before and after photos. So like one of the mistakes I see a lot of people make is they're like, okay, I'm going to do 80-day obsession. I'm going to take a photo on day 1, and then I'm going to take a photo on day 80. And we're going to have this mind-blowing thing. So what that tells me is you have no desire to make money between day 1 and day 80. Like you're going to sit around not making income for 80 days because you chose not to share progress photos along the way. I don't care if you do them every week. I don't care if you do them every 20 days, 10 days, 2 weeks, 1 month. Doesn't really matter. You have to take progress photos. So how do you take progress photos without it looking like you're taking the same photo every time? When you take your before photos, take it, and I know this almost seems a little vain, but at the same time, like you're a business owner, and so you've got to get into that business mindset. Take photos of different parts of your body. So like make sure you have some of your arms, make sure you have some of your trunk, make sure you have some of your abs, full body, standing to the side, standing behind. Like take more than one photo. Make sure that you can see your body in them. Taking a photo in sweatpants and a t-shirt doesn't do shit for anybody. Nobody cares about your sweatpants, okay? Like and I'm not saying you gotta be naked, please. I've had a customer before send me a naked photo. Please do not send me a naked photo. Please do not post a naked photo. Even if your hands are over your breasts, don't do it. I love you. I love that God made your beautiful body, but like, it's a lot. It's a lot of it. So if you don't want to do sports bra, fine. Do it. I mean, this workout tank will show fat rolls, okay? Like you take it in pants that don't fit. Take them in bathing suit. Like whatever you want to do, just take the freaking photos. And then as you go along, you're not just showing the same transformation photo every Tuesday of your whole body. Maybe this time you're just showing your transformation photo and highlighting your legs, because holy crap, 20 days into morning meltdown, my legs are this big when they were this big earlier. Like show people. Maybe just take it of your face. I love face-to-face Fridays. Like looking at someone who's lost weight and gained clarity in their face is really awesome. It's a great way to do that. But so make sure when you take your before photos, you take lots of them, different outfits, all different kind of stuff. Okay. And yeah, and the last little bit of on this part is showing up in the accountability group. So these are the 4, I guess, the 4 components of getting results and results mindedness. So picking a workout program, doing it. Picking a nutrition program, doing it. Taking the photos and sharing them, doing it. And lastly, show up in the accountability group, because whether you have 0 people showing up with you yet, or 1 person or 30 people, it doesn't matter. Your job is to show up. So whether you're running your own boot camp or not, whether you're running your boot camp and nobody else who you've enrolled is showing up, does not matter. Your job is to show up in your boot camp because you are results minded. So as great as it is for you to have clients who are showing up, who are results minded, if you're not there too, you're not results minded. So set a timer on your phone to remind, or set an alarm on your phone to remind you to log your accountability. I don't care how you do it. Log your accountability, because if you want your clients to log accountability, you've got to log accountability. If you want your clients to interact on a post, then you've got to interact on a post. You've got to show up as the best client. So be sure that you are setting that example, because you're a leader. It doesn't matter if you're leading yourself or 1 person or 500 people. You've got to show up. So those are kind of the 4 components to showing up and being results minded in and of yourself. Now, how do we translate that into business results, into a successful business model? And I know you guys get sick and tired of me showing the same damn thing every single week. It's your business activity tracker. This is like 99.9% of your business. Everything we talked about, almost everything, is in here, is in this top block of be the proof the products work. Technically, you need to be doing some personal development for that physical results and your whatever your mindset results. You got to be doing some of that. So these are like top 2 blocks. These 2 in the middle, this one down here, result, or part number 3, get people results. That's you showing up in your accountability group. That's you recognizing your clients publicly and saying, oh my God, Renee is killing it. Oh my God, Megan's killing it. I love seeing her. And it doesn't have to be like, oh my gosh, Megan lost 30 pounds. It can be, I loved seeing Megan's photo of her meal prep. It totally inspired me to meal prep myself. That's recognition. Maybe they're not your client yet. Maybe there's some random person in mind, but they're inspiring you. I love watching Michelle King show up every single night in our accountability. I recognize her publicly for that. Guess who else has gotten killer results? Michelle King, because she does this every single night. That's part of getting results. But this middle block here, this is the work, you guys. This is the income right here. Right here is your income producing activities. So if you need to focus on something, focus on this. This should be taking you about 45 minutes to an hour of your day, each day. So initiating connections and followers, that's growing your network, right? But if you are posting your journey all along the way, if you're posting your transformation photos every week, if you're telling little bite-sized pieces of your story, if you're posting good meals that you're making, if you're doing a funny TikTok video of you drinking Energize and you post it, guess who you reach out to? The people who watched and looked and liked and commented on your post. And not just the people that said, hey, can you send me more information on that mom crack? Because guess how many mom cracks I would sell if I waited for everybody to tell me that they were interested? Around about 4. But instead, I reach out to those people and initiate conversations. I invite them into my boot camp. Hey, Sally, saw you watched my story the other day about my upcoming May boot camp. Can I send you some more information about joining? That's an invitation, you guys. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be overthought. You don't have to come up with some big, giant, elaborate thing, because most people don't want to read big, giant, elaborate things. They want to get very quick little sound bites of information, and they want you to be interested in them. And one of my favorite quotes, Meredith says it all the time, is be more interested than you are, be more concerned about being interested than being interesting. Like, being interesting is a very nice thing that might get you some followers, but if you don't ever reach out to them and you don't ever strike up a conversation and you're never interested in the other person, your business will always fall flat. And I feel like that's why, I recently, have gotten into the TikTok thing. It's interesting to watch this like mindlessness that's on there. But guys, they aren't making money off of mindlessness if they're not reaching out to people and being interested in them. If all it is some 15-year-old taking a video of her dancing, she's not getting any results other than a bunch of likes. And that doesn't translate to your electric bill getting paid. So be more concerned about being interested than you are about being interesting. That kind of goes back to what we talked about before with the show pony and the workhorse. You kind of got to merge those two. So with that said, ask someone, this is the other thing I want to talk about. Say you're having a hard time, because I want to kind of troubleshoot this a little bit and head off some of the things that I hear constantly. Like, Danielle, I really want to be results minded, but I'm having a really hard time staying accountable. You know what, how really, really helps you be accountable? Enroll someone. I would challenge you to enroll someone. Because when you start having to be accountable for someone else because they enrolled with you, you level up. Because now you're like, oh my God, now I have to show up because I enrolled that person. Because it's not a babysitting service, right? Like, you're like, oh my gosh, I enrolled my neighbor and she's going to know if I didn't do my workout. So now I have to show up and do my workout. Oh my gosh, I enrolled my best friend. She's going to ask me what I ate for dinner last night. I don't know. I had pizza. Like, don't discount the fact that enrolling one person can dramatically change your own results. It causes you to level up when you become in community with those that are also results focused. Start your own group. Start your own bod group. That's kind of the full circle here. Start your own bod group. Again, it doesn't have to be some big, giant, elaborate thing. It can just be a bod group or Marco Polo thread or a text thread with your girlfriends or a Facebook group. There's so many ways. Paige is running a boot camp right now on Instagram. She opened up an entirely new Instagram page and is running it in Instagram. It's fascinating to me because I'm like, oh my gosh, A, super pretty, and B, because I've never even thought that that was an option to build a business. I'm like, how do you even do this? And watching her figure this out on her own is like this really interesting thing that has opened my eyes to new ways of running boot camps. So just because I run mine in Facebook, like maybe it's just you and 2 of your girlfriends and you're like, I think I'm just gonna start a text thread. That's great. Text back and forth. I have a Marco Polo thread right now with 2 other girls who are doing morning meltdown. We Marco Polo, hey, finish morning or upbeat strength, can't lift my arm. Obviously the Marco Polo is shaking all over the place because my arms are jelly. Like, and we've gotten to know each other really intimately because we're using Marco Polo every single day for 100 days. So there's lots of ways for you to start that, but being results minded typically also encompasses bringing other people into that fold. I love, Moira is really, I guess, well known for talking about getting in the middle of the bed. And that's what we're talking about here. Get in the middle of the bed of this. Don't lay half in, half out. Get in the straight up middle of the bed with everyone else who's getting results. And you're going to get results too. You're going to get physical results. You're going to get business results. People around you are going to start to notice that you're changing. And that's a good thing. So don't be scared of that. Don't be afraid to change because you've always been this way. Like, obviously you enrolled in this for some reason. So lean into that. And there is no better time. Like I said at the beginning of this call, when we talked about all of the people who are enrolling with Beachbody on-demand accounts, there was a graphic I posted in our team page that talked about the insane increases in Beachbody on-demand subscriptions. Like, it is freaking mind-blowing to me. In all of 5 years, I have never seen increase like this. And my guess will be we will never see increase like this again. So take care of it now so that you can be a part of what's happening and you can be a part of the way somebody handles this better than, you know, sitting around on their couch drinking wine and gaining 20 pounds during the quarantine. Like, be the person that helped them through that. So that was pretty much all I wanted to say about getting results. I can open it up and check the chat, and you can just unmute yourself. I know, Renee, you said you had a question about bod groups. So feedback, takeaways, bod group questions, any questions? Check them. Amy said she was at a birthday party. So, oh, are you? Here, I'll unmute you. Go ahead.
So that photo that you posted in the team group that had like the number of workouts and the number of whatever, blah, blah, blah. Can you share that with others, or is that not shareable?
Do you mean like, would you share it on your personal Facebook or Instagram or whatever?
Not on my personal, but could I share it with somebody else being like, there's,
heck yeah.
you know, like joining is not like a terrible thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you said, being a coach doesn't mean you really have to do what I'm doing.
Right.
To still be a coach, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So I assume you're talking about the one where it says Beachbody stats from the past month.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like the blue and pink one.
Yep. Yeah.
Can I take some of those stats though and put it on my personal page?
Mm-hmm. Like write a post.
Because I really liked Megan.
Yeah.
I think Megan's on here. I really liked Megan's Did You Know post. I mean, it was all like more personal, but I kind of wanted to do something similar to that about just what's been going on now in Beachbody, just to let, you know.
Let's see. Which one is that? I have to look and see which one that was. What Did You Know one?
Megan's?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was about herself. It was about how she was like a certified trainer. She was whatever. Did you?
Oh,
like,
yeah. Yeah.
It was such a cute post.
Yes.
But I was going to maybe tweak something along that, but with like facts about like what's been happening in our world, like in in Beachbody.
That's a great idea. Yeah. I typically try to avoid specifically talking about Beachbody a lot. So like, I don't hide it by any means. Like, I'm not ashamed to be a Beachbody coach. I don't avoid like wearing Beachbody logos. You know, this morning I talked about Shakeology, but I don't typically like use a lot of specific trainers, use a lot of that kind of, you know, like I don't say Beachbody. I talk about my at-home workouts. I'm not so sure that that's excellent advice right now in the climate that we're in, because I think it's really fascinating that a lot of people have come to me telling me they've enrolled with Beachbody On Demand, and they're like, oh, I didn't even know you were coaching. And I'm like, what the heck do you mean? Like, you are obviously in a hole. Like, obviously,
Right.
because I'm very obviously a coach. But like, so many people have enrolled with it on their own, that I've had a lot of, I think, who was it? Paige, you had 2 people recently switch to you. I know Amy sent me a message today. How do I switch my, my friend who just signed up without me to me? So that might be, I don't know that that's great advice right now. Maybe it's completely different. It should be completely different advice right now. But I just have always been a more attraction marketing kind of person rather than, hey, I'm doing 21-day fix, because my mindset is always they can Google 21-day fix and sign up for it themselves. And that doesn't benefit me, and it really doesn't benefit them in the end either, because they
That's a
aren't
good
getting the
point.
help they need. They're just getting something they bought,
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, I feel like that's all changing and evolving, where now, whereas like before all of this, if you threw that, like what you just said, like they could Google it, but now they're gonna see it and be like, oh, I can do this with you. Whereas you're like, yes, this is what I've been doing all along.
Right.
Thank you. But
yeah, it is. It's really interesting.
And it'll also be interesting to see, like, whenever this all does kind of pass, like, well, we need to kind of revert back to that, like, not so much like Beachbody talk. I don't know.
It's interesting. And that's why being a small business owner in and of itself is kind of a fun and not so fun sometimes thing, because you don't really know what the best is, and what one person says is the best way to do it. There might be a totally different best way to do. But I don't know. I just think it's a good practice to try lots of different things. I've been tempted several times recently to put up a blatant post that's like, in the last 4 weeks, have you signed up for Beachbody On Demand and not attached yourself to a coach? If you have, please reach out to me ASAP, because I would love to get you attached to a coach so that I can give you actual information. I have really considered doing that several times, because I can't tell you, I mean, one of my challenge packs from this month was a girl. I had sent her an invitation, but she's like, oh my God, I just signed up for a Beachbody On Demand. I was going to CrossFit, and obviously my gym is closed now, but like, yes, I would love to do this. How do I get in your group? And then obviously I had to backtrack and then get her thing refunded, and then get, a new challenge pack set up. But I mean, there's so many people right now.
I think one of the things that I've noticed is like, when I do start talking with people, the people who've heard of Beachbody are like, oh yeah, you're a Beachbody coach, blah, blah, blah. And by not overtly bringing it up, like some people I feel who would have been turned off by it are more open to being like, oh, what's that?
Right. Yeah. Well, and right now, saying at-home workout is kind of pointless, because we're all working out at home with our at-home workouts. So like, we got to be a little more creative, because that doesn't mean the same thing it used to mean, So I don't know. But yeah. Renee, did I answer your question about bod groups earlier?
I know I lost my question now.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm just wondering if during my miniature training on bod groups, I feel like I should host some kind of like big training, but I don't know all that much about it yet. So I just kind of figured I'm going to set something up on Sunday, just like everybody else. So
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I was super confused watching that training, because I was like, oh, let me go and like play around in bod groups, and then I was like, where is it?
yeah, we can do that, yeah.
Well, I kind of thought that they made it sound like you could.
Yeah, that's why I was really confused after I watched Was it Kim Carver's training?
Barbers, yeah.
I thought it was at least up for coaches to like play around with.
Right.
The way that I watched the training. And then I was like, I don't see this.
Yeah. He did make it sound that way, but I think what they mean is like play around in it on Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess I have a question. Do we know, like, so like now, like I'm running a Facebook accountability group and then I also do Danielle's.
Mm-hmm.
So do we know, is it going to be something like where we're going to be, like where we have to post in there daily, or is that all going to be kind of like generated?
No, it would still be just like this, like what you're doing now. It's not going to be fully generated. You have to, from what I understand from the training that I saw, I mean, they're going to have it where you can load posts in there from like the challenge tracker, or the, not challenge tracker, the challenge group guides. But you're still going to have to like schedule those and put them in.
Okay. Okay.
They won't
I
be
just,
automatic.
I'd never done the other one. So I didn't know like how that was going to work.
Right.
And it sounded also like if you were to run like a 21-day fixed group, and then obviously at the end of that 21 days, like if you wanted to open a new one
Mm-hmm.
and have new people in it, you could use, from my understanding, you could take those people out and like it would post the exact same thing
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
for the new
That's
people,
right.
and you would have to go through all that again.
Yeah. That is good. I mean, that's a really great idea if you were doing programs specifically, for sure.
Yeah.
I love that. Carrie's background.
Yeah, sorry. I'm at my friends and they're watching the draft.
I assume so. All right. Megan, did you have any questions? I know you're getting ready to start. When does your group start?
Well, we were going to do it on Monday,
Mhm.
but I don't know if I'll know enough about how to use bod groups yet. Because I was going to set it up on Facebook, but then I thought, I don't want to set it up on Facebook and then tell everybody, oh, we have to go learn this now.
Right.
I think we'll wait till the first Monday in May.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, my stuff is starting the first Monday in May. I know, Paige, you have one starting the first Monday of May.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I'm just gonna pray that the 5-day one that I'm running next week works with pod groups.
Yeah, I bet what a good way to try it out, though.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, they're not paying for it anyways.
Yeah.
If it's glitchy, it's glitchy, you know. Yeah, Paige, I had posted that template for free groups, and Paige is running a 5-day free group Monday through Friday next week.
Yep, Monday through Friday.
Leading into her her group, which I think is her boot camp, which I think is a really smart way to do it. Give people.
And you'll be able to do the free ones on there. People can still log in.
Yep.
Yeah, as long as it's the app, I think they can use it.
Yeah, it's really cool. All right, Renee, we talked earlier about yours, so I know you have a group coming up. Amanda, is yours ongoing, or do you have like a new, how are you
I have
doing?
an ongoing, and then just to drum up, Get Success Club, I'm trying to start 10 May 4th for my new group that I'll add into that ongoing group.
Okay. Yeah, everybody does it differently, and so it's one of those things where if it's working for you, great. Keep going with it. If it doesn't work for you, then you have to change it. And that's where I was at the end, really middle to end of last year. I had an ongoing group for like 4.5 years, and it was fine. But what I was finding was I was always scrounging for points at the end of the month, where I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to make my points this month. I'm not going to help enough people this month if I don't really push hard right now. And so I found that starting every single month, the first Monday of the month, I almost always hit Success Club 10 before the 10th of the month. So if I can hit that goal very quickly in the month, and then, it allows me to, I still have some time at the end of the month where I offer early enrollment, which again, I do certain perks for that. Like they get their meal plan early. They get a one-on-one call with me where we go over their plan specifically for them. Whereas like if they enroll the day before the group starts, I feel like I don't have time to do that with them. So I try to push early enrollment so that I get the bulk of my points at the beginning of the month and then about toward the end of the month. So I will say, as far as income stability goes, my income typically dips in the middle of the month and then goes back up at the end of the month. So the beginning and the end of the month are fairly high for my income because of the way I structure my groups. And then toward the middle, you know, my income is mostly team volume bonus and like regular volume things. So like if somebody buys Energize or collagen or whatever, you know, kind of piecemeal sort of stuff. And then at the end, it's mostly challenge packs again. So that's kind of the way I have mine structured. And it worked for me really well so far. So I would, you know, I'll keep doing it until it doesn't work. And then I'll figure out a new way to do it. I mean, I feel like that's the plight of entrepreneurism, is just you do it until it doesn't work and then you try something else. So yeah. All right. Any other questions or takeaways? Was the results mindedness helpful for you? And do you feel like you can translate that into your clients? Because that's ultimately what I want to be able to do, is not only light that fire in you, but to give you those tools to be able to light the fire in your challengers and your team.
I have a question or concern about bod groups. I like how you have your boot camp. I mean, it's easy to change the, you know, the top picture every month and say the name of it's new, but you still have all that history there and you still have all those people in there. And I feel like we haven't used it yet, but bod groups doesn't look like it's set up to keep that big community. It's like each one has to have a different.
So from what I understand, it can be an ongoing. It doesn't have to have a start and an end date. You could put it as like Valor Tribes Wellness Studio, and you could have it and you could change that image as many times as you want, and you can put out there and market, kind of like how my Facebook group is. You can put out there and market that you have a new boot camp or a new cycle running, or however you want to term it. But you can set it to ongoing. It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to wipe it clean.
I think, Megan, they also mentioned that you can save all of your content, that it'll be saved in bod groups. So like if you want to transfer that to another group that you're doing, it's easy to do that because it is already in bod groups app.
And I'll also tell you, Megan, I'm not leaving my Facebook group. Like I'm not leaving my Facebook group for bod groups. I'm going to just continue my Facebook group. I like my Facebook group. And again, until that doesn't work for me, I'm going to keep it in Facebook. But I will have a bod group available, because what I'm finding more and more and more, especially as I like branch out into marketing on Instagram, is that a lot of people don't have Facebook and they don't want Facebook. And so this is an alternative for them from my perspective. It doesn't have to be an either or. You can do both. I just have always kept my two very different. And I kind of do that on purpose. To be really honest, you know, I got to a point where mine was a general accountability group, and there were a lot of people in there that weren't paying actively to be in there. They were, you know, they bought a challenge pack 2 years ago and they never left the group. Guess who's not getting results? Those people. So I restructured everything. So now I kick out everyone every month who has not had an active enrollment, who is not actively engaged in the group. They're gone. And I send them a message and say, hey, this is how you can get back into my, you know, May boot camp. You know, I hope that you had fun in the April one. I hope you saw your results, Here's how you can get back into it. If you're not interested in that, here is the link for my challenge tracker group that is a general accountability group. So I keep my app open for those that do not want to buy a challenge group, because that's not going to be what everybody wants. You know, some people just want Beachbody On Demand, or they just want to buy collagen from you, or whatever. You know, I still want to have space to support them. So I hold space for that, but they don't get the majority of my attention. And so the people that are paying for my coaching service, they're going to get my one-on-one attention. They're the ones I'm going to spend my time going over their meals that they post at the end of the night, that I'm going to reach out when I haven't heard from them. I'm going to stick a lot more of my energy and attention there. So, I mean, you can structure it however you want. And maybe there's too many ways to structure it. And it's like, I don't know what to do. So.
Yeah, I actually had a question about that. Like, for those of us who are just starting off, I know you said you can structure it however you want, but would it be beneficial in the beginning to maybe just include all of our clients into the accountability group, just so we have like that sense of like community with people? And then maybe once we grow, I don't know, does that?
I know exactly what you're saying. I have a hard time speaking to that, because I did that for a really, really long time. And I felt like my business stayed way down low. It was really not until I set specific boundaries around my group that my business really took off. So I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily. I just don't know that it really promotes you and your value as a coach. And I think the longer people cling to the idea that maybe someone doesn't have to pay as much to get their attention and their services, the longer it takes you to own that value in your coaching business. I also got to a point where I really didn't think it was fair that I was requiring people to buy a challenge pack, like some people to buy a challenge pack, but other people, no, it's okay. Just don't tell people you didn't buy a challenge pack. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's an inequality there. And so even though they don't necessarily know that, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, for me, it was a me learning how to value my business and what I have to offer kind of thing. I don't think it's bad. I just think that it slows you down.
So I do have one more quick question, I guess, because I think I'm more in line with your thought process, but I do have like 4, maybe 5. I can't remember now. I should know since I have not very many people. But I think I have at least 4 that that have just Beachbody like on demand, and I have a couple that had done free trials, and I had caught them like right at the right time that were my friends of mine, and I got them moved over, and they've already purchased BOD, but they didn't purchase anything else. So I'm kind of with you. Like I'm more than happy to support them, and I've been like randomly checking in with them, like, hey, how's that workout going, or things like that. But I do like the fact that we should probably still I should maybe be coaching them more than what I am. So I'm kind of in line with putting them into the BOD group and just to test it out kind of on them.
Yeah. Great way to think about it. Yeah.
But so then like I've been in your accountability group before, like your Facebook one, and mine is set up very similar to that. Mm-hmm. So what is the difference, and what is your content difference?
I have no content. I don't put content into my challenge tracker group. I am not going to spend my time every week loading content or paying my assistant to load content into a group where people did not make an investment in that. Because like you got to think about it this way though too. When somebody enrolls, and I know like I almost feel, part of me hesitates to say this because I feel like if you don't know my heart, you would think that this is a very snarky, like cold aspect on it. But I feel like all you guys know my heart well enough to know that when someone buys Beachbody On Demand, you get paid $38. Are you really going to coach them for $38 a year? No.
Right.
Like you would never. Like that's so undervaluing what you do. I mean, $38 a month? Okay. Now we're talking like $50 a month. Like now you can start to see this value. But when you genuinely, and again, I know that sounds super cold, but at the end of the day, I'm also a business owner. And it was really hard for me mentally to get to that place where that's the standard I upheld. But I will tell you, if you've been in my group longer than since January, so if you were in my group a year ago, bye, good night, Carrie. then you see the energetic difference in my group. There's a completely different energy. And I love my coach, my mindset coach, Brooke, talks about people that pay attention. People that don't pay attention. They got it for free. They really don't care. They, again, and I'm not discounting the fact that $100 is $100 for them. But at the end of the day, $100 spread out over the year is like nothing. So, don't discount your services to the point where, because they will only assign your value to what you assign your value to. So they're going to pay $38 a year worth of attention. You might get one or two that pay a little bit more attention, but they probably don't, at least from my experience with my business. When I have started requiring people to have a purchase, the energy level in my group is so much higher. The people getting results is so much higher. It just, everybody functions better when we all value what's happening.
So for those customers that you put in that other group, is that just like a self-accountability thing?
Yeah. And I try to go in there about once a week, and I love on their posts, and I tell them good job. And if and I always tell them to tag me if you have a question, because you can it does the same thing where you can do like the little @ symbol, the tagging Danielle Porter, and it will show a notification, and I always answer those. But day to day, I am not checking up on them. No. And again, that's just the way I do it. For better, for worse, maybe that's bad, maybe it's good. That's the way that it's been working for me. So, but I think a lot of, I used to do a free accountability group and a paid accountability group and all these different things. And I spread myself so thin trying to be everything for every person. And that doesn't work. You will burn out. You will get over it really quick. And if you have anything else going on in your life, you'll get over it real quick. So set yourself up for success and set some boundaries around your business. And I'll say one more thing about that too, Renee, kind of to that same vein. It's much harder to go backwards than it is to never have gone there before. Right. Because now, yeah, it's a lot harder to tell people, hey, I know I used to run my business this way. We're having policy changes. Now I run my business this way. Where if they've never been in a group with you, they don't know. So don't create bad habits in them that don't need to be there.
Well, and I struggle enough myself with self-doubt and am I doing the right thing? I mean, I have enough of my own issues that I don't want to making this harder than what it is anyways, because I already at times feel like it's hard when I know it's not. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to add to that.
Right.
Plus I have time, and I know I need to work on my time management, but I also don't have that kind of time. Like you said,
even if you did,
if you're only worth $38, I don't have that kind of time.
Right.
Ask questions when you have questions. I'd be more than happy to help you answer them and do it. But and I'll check in on you once in a while, but I'm kind of like that. I don't have time for that.
Right. And again, people will treat you how you allow them to treat you. So if you allow people to monopolize your time, then they're going to monopolize your time. So set the bound. I mean, that's my plug for setting boundaries, right? Set boundaries and uphold your business, because you would not walk into a dental clinic or a therapist office and demand that they do what you want them to do. No, right. You
pay me for a year for $30. Right.
They're not working on your teeth for $38 a year. No, they're not. We got bills to pay. So don't devalue yourself just because you have a non-traditional business. I mean, I don't know. I can speak to this because I know Paige personally and know how much does it cost for you to go get a, because I know you're into powerlifting. How much does your powerlifting coach, if you were to hire a coach to train you for a powerlifting competition, how much does he charge?
Oh my gosh, wait, like a personal one or like in a group?
Yeah, like a personal one.
In a group setting, I've paid $80 a month, and then for like a one-on-one kind of thing, that's at least $200 a month.
Right. You think he's
Yeah.
gonna train you for $38 a year? No, says I. No. No. So, and I'm not saying that, I'm not telling you that you are the same as a personal trainer. Like, I realize that. Like, we are facilitators of community groups and accountability groups. I'm not saying that. That's why we're not charging, you know, what maybe a personal trainer would charge. We're able to spread that out a little bigger because we can do this in a much better, you know, a much bigger group setting. But my point is that personal trainer doesn't hem and haw about charging $200 for, no. So like, why the heck should you?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, if you can carry that attitude into your interactions, nobody questions it. I mean, how many times have I paid something that somebody has told me to pay them because they're like, well, it's $100. And I'm like, oh, well, I want that. Here's my $100. Like, if you don't introduce doubt into the conversation, they don't have doubts. They just do it because it will fix their problem. But the minute you start, well, you know, I have lots of different packages and you can buy this one for $32 every quarter. Like, nobody's going to, I mean, I feel like that erodes the trust that people have in you as a business owner. All right,
Look what came in the mail.
Ah, yeah, you got it. Yeah.
I got it today.
That's so awesome. Oh, it's so good. That Rise Up Planner is awesome. And you guys, all of you guys are all here. I'm going to stop recording real quick.